Dreamers. Welcome. My name is Allie, and welcome to my show, Heart and Soul Connected. And I'm always happy to have you here. Today, I'm going to talk about the secret behind recurring dreams. And a lot of you know or already are aware that I have a dream show that I do with several wonderful panelists that also assist me and sometimes run it themselves. And that would be Terry from Holding Your Space, Kelly from Cali Healer, and Diana, oil painter. And so we come on Tuesday nights. It's at 4 o'clock in the Pacific area and 7 Eastern. And we just love to analyze your dreams. What we don't have an opportunity to do each time, though, is to talk about some of the aspects behind the dreams that create the way that we dream them, and some of the knowledge that is helpful for you if you're trying to decipher your dreams as well. So today I want to talk a little bit about having recurring dreams over and over, ones that never seem to resolve themselves or get to a certain point and stop, or maybe they start one way and go another that's very different, but we recognize them, and a lot of them are from universal situations, things that all of us have been through and reside in the collective consciousness on the planet. And some of those things, for instance, being naked in public, trying to find a bathroom, not doing well in school. There's just a whole bunch of them. And when we get them, we're very confused and we have no idea how necessarily to handle them, but they're very normal at the same time. So have you ever also been chased in a dream, or showing up for a test and you didn't know you were going to have a test? And so what is this message, and what do you need to pay attention to? Okay. So 50 to 65% of adults experience reoccurring dreams. We wake up, shake them off, and call them weird. Don't you? I had this weird dream last night. I hear that all the time, even from my own offspring. So it's kind of fun to take a deeper look into it. We often also wonder about these repetitive stories and if they're anything but random, and they're viewed as sacred messengers, persistent signals from a higher consciousness. Something is tapping us on the shoulder and asking us to pay attention. And what better way when you are sleeping, because they or your higher consciousness has you sort of trapped in this situation where they can show you what it is they think you ought to deal with. So modern scientists link recurring dreams to very world things like stress, unresolved conflict, or unmet needs. What if both sides are true? What if the metaphysical side and the physical working out of stress come together? So we're going to decode some spiritual secrets that they might be trying to tell you, turning them from confusion to a tool, and maybe a resolution to the recurrence of the dream. So the first thing is the unfinished lesson. The unfinished lesson. From a spiritual perspective, the most common reason a dream repeats itself is you ain't getting a message. Yeah. Think of it like a notification from your soul, or an email from your soul that you just keep swiping away. The dream is going to persist over and over, getting even more vivid or more frequent, until you finally stop, read the message, and say, oh, this is an unfinished lesson. Wow, I never thought of it that way before. It's a call to address something in your waking life you've been avoiding, ignoring, or just haven't fully processed. What haven't you fully processed? An example is the dream of being chased. This is very, very common dream. Psychologically, it points to avoidance. You might be running from a tough conversation, a deadline, a responsibility, or something you just don't want to face. And so your dream is a metaphor for the anxiety you feel about that and wanting to run away from the problem. Remember, everyone's dreams have meaning for them, and I'm only giving you some universal ideas here. So, if this does not resonate, it's your dream and you own it. So in that dream, though, from a spiritual viewpoint where you're being chased, what are you running from could be deeper. Could it be your own truth, or a calling that you're afraid to answer, a change you're resisting. The thing in the dream isn't always a monster. Sometimes, as Carl Jung said, it's a shadow self. It's something that you're chasing and you're not acknowledging. And working with shadow is something that a lot of people feel uncomfortable with, even though we all should do it. We all aren't perfect human beings. And so when we confront our shadow, we look at the pieces of ourselves that we probably aren't real fond of. However, they also hold your untapped potential, these dreams. So it's inviting you to stop and turn around and ask the chaser, what do you want? So you're being chased, and if it was a lucid dream, you turn around and you just put your face up to them and say, what is it you want? I want to know. I want to handle this. Don't be afraid to do that. By facing it in the dream, you start to work integrating that lesson into your real life. This repeats because the lesson is important for your journey. For myself, it was that I didn't drop a class, and I didn't drop a class, and I didn't drop a class, but I had dropped out of school. And so I had some F's because of it. And that was true, that I did drop out. And I had that recurring dream about not dropping the class until I went back to college and got my master's. Then it went away. So it was like, it just kept coming. It kept coming. And I was ignoring it. I was ignoring it for several reasons. I couldn't afford to go at the time that I was having the dream. And the other reason was I didn't think I was smart enough to do it. We all have our own doubts, and that's part of our shadow. So the next kind of dream, a recurring dream set in a place you've never visited or with people you don't know, but it feels familiar to you. You might even say in it that you were interacting with, let's say, your daughter, your husband, your friend, and you knew it was them, but it didn't look like them. Wow, that's a past life. You have had a past life with somebody that absolutely looked differently, and you recognized their soul. Isn't that interesting? Some spiritual traditions, those rooted in Eastern philosophy, believe that dreams could be karmic echoes, fragments and residual emotional issues from other lives. Now, it's important to say that this is a spiritual interpretation and not supported by scientific evidence. So if that's what you're looking for, that ain't here. But it is a powerful idea for those who hold these beliefs. This perspective suggests that our souls carry unresolved patterns and lessons across lifetimes. A recurring dream in this view might be your soul's way of bringing a very old, deep wound to the surface so that it can finally be healed. Let's take one of the weirdest and most common recurring dreams. How about your teeth falling out? Ooh, that's a little bit unnerving, isn't it? Psychologically, it's often linked to anxiety about your appearance, a loss of control, or a stress around a communication. Teeth are the tiny details. You might feel powerless or worried about how other people see you. That's a shame. We have to face up to that because who cares how other people see us? I know there is a concern that we don't want to come across a certain way, or that, it's important to show our best face, let's say. But at the same time, if someone doesn't resonate with you, they don't resonate with you. That's just the way it goes. So a karmic interpretation could also suggest a past life where your voice was silenced, where you didn't speak a crucial truth, or where your words caused harm. The dream is the energetic echo of that experience. Your soul isn't just reminding you of this old wound, it's urging you to heal it in this timeline so you do not have to go through that again. Speak your truth. Use your voice with integrity. The dream repeats in this belief system because the karmic pattern is still active and your soul is ready to take care of it and resolve it. So you just got to face it and say, hey, let's do it. Link hand in hand and go marching down the karmic road. Another example is the dream of falling, if your body fell. While science would connect this to a fear of failure or a loss of control, some see it as a karmic echo. The key is, what does it feel like? Does it feel like a punishment or a release? A karmic lens invites you to see not just the fear, but a chance to trust and surrender and break the cycle of resistance that could have been spanning several lifetimes. What you have to really know is every dream has a feeling attached to it. So if you're wanting to do dream interpretation, it's wonderful to give as many details as you can, but also tell us, what is it that you were feeling? Were you tired, fearful, angry, upset, happy, joyful? All of those things are important to the analysis of a dream. So the next one that I want to bring up for a repetition dream is the divine warning or guidance. Sometimes a recurring dream isn't about the past at all, but about your present moment or the near future. Remember, you too have psychic intuitive ability. You can see this in dreams. We have this available to us if we are welcoming it and saying, I'm going to try to use this as a tool in my toolbox. It can take a kind of spiritual heads up, a warning, or a piece of guidance. Many ancient traditions and scriptures saw dreams spike during times of high stress or big life changes, which are the exact times we need the guidance the most. A recurring dream about being unprepared for an exam is a perfect example. You show up to a final, but you haven't studied, so you can't find the room. Psychologically, this reflects being tested and unprepared in your waking life. Like the imposter syndrome at a new job. You feel exposed and you're afraid of talking. I've brought up the imposter syndrome a few times, and I want you to know that we all have this at times. It's that we hold ourselves out to be a certain type of person, or some people might say a card reader or a psychic, or does Akashic records or analyzes dreams and all of that. And then we hear somebody else and their work is so profound to us that we feel like we're imposters, and that how do we really know what we're doing? And it's the same way in a job. It's the same way in a relationship. It can be that way. Or it's amazing that everyone actually goes through this. It's a normal thing that occurs. And sometimes it occurs in the dreams. So these dreams could be direct guidance. It might be a message that you're facing a spiritual test that you may not be ready for. It's a loving warning to prepare yourself, do your inner work, approach the challenge with more intention. The dream isn't there to scare you. These dreams are here to warn us, not to scare us. It repeats because the window of opportunity to prepare for it is still open to you in order to heal it, change it, whatever. It can happen. In the same way, a recurring dream of being trapped or locked in a room can symbolize feeling stuck at a job, a relationship, or a belief system that is limiting your growth. It's a clear sign that a change is needed. The repetition is the universe's way of saying, hey, pay attention. This isn't working for you anymore. Time to find the key and get the heck out of here. Go. It's a boot. It's a movement. Sometimes there are people that hate change. I know you're in this chat as well. It's okay. It's really okay. Change can be really good for us. It's hard for us to move away from that mentality of fearing it. But in order to change how the world affects you and you affect the world, it's a reminder that sometimes our time is up in this particular calling, and sometimes it's time to move into this one. Number 4, the call to a spiritual awakening, which is one of my favorite dreams I've ever had. It's a recurring dream that you have a problem that needs to be solved. And yet it isn't a problem. It is potential that you're trying to realize. So if you see it as a problem, it's not. Turn it around and see it as the potential to be realized. This can be a sign that you're in the middle of a spiritual awakening or a major shift in consciousness. And many of us are going through it. I've talked to 4 people just yesterday who have all had huge exponential growth within the last year and just are soaring in their abilities and their vibration. So the dreams are here to help you shed old limitations and embrace a more expanded version of yourself, and open up your arms and say, here I am. I'm willing to go. What do you want me to do? I am here to serve. I am that. The best example is the dream of flying. And if you've ever had the dream of flying, you know how wonderful it feels. It is fabulous to fly, and or astral travel, through the planets. It's up to you where you want to go. I tend to stay, when I have them, I'm very close to the ground a lot of the time. It's almost as if I want to see everything there is on the earth from a very, very, like a 3-foot high distance. And I mean, I've flown higher, but I want to see this first. It's like, and I wonder too, if it's telling me ground first before you go fly. All these things can really make sense once you think about it that way. It's all symbology. Okay. So for most people, flying is a joyful, incredible experience that represents freedom, liberation, and rising above it all. From a spiritual perspective, a dream of flying is a sign that your consciousness is expanding. You're realizing you are more than just your physical body and all the daily problems that you have to deal with. The dream encourages you and helps you to anchor the feeling of freedom into your waking life. Another powerful dream in this category is discovering new rooms in your house, or maybe little walkways or someplace around your house. Okay. In dreams, your house is you. The attic, where the basement is, where the bathroom is, where the heart-centered room is and the love room is. I mean, makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So you repeatedly dream of finding new undiscovered rooms, suggesting you become aware of new parts of yourself. You're unlocking hidden talents, new insights, and untapped potential. It's a beautiful sign that your inner world is expanding and your soul is inviting you to come explore. The dream repeats because the journey of self-discovery never ends. Don't allow it to ever end if it's a choice. If it's not a choice, you may have these dreams all the time because that's the only way they can reach you. Okay? So be open to their messages. Don't feel too baffled in the beginning, because if you take words sometimes and you turn them around, they become symbolic as well. These dreams, every single one of them, are truly a gift. Reoccurring dreams are dreams that really, really want your attention. They're a signal from your higher self that you're on the right path, that you're growing, and you're ready for whatever might come up. So, how do you start working with these messages? Well, the most powerful tool is the dream journal, writing it down once you have the dream. The other thing is you can bring your dream to the show. We'd love to hear it, but we also want to know how you are feeling during this time. Keep your notebook by your bed. As soon as you wake up, before you do anything else, write it down. Everything you can remember. And don't just write the plot, write the feelings, the colors, the symbols, the whole vibe. If you've watched the dream show, you've seen Diana. She does a whole piece of art on her dreams. She's amazing. We don't expect that everybody can do that, but I absolutely adore her dreams because they're so vividly shown in a picture. Reflect on the dream for a minute. Ask yourself, what was the core of feeling here? How does this connect to my life right now? What is the one message I can take away from this? By engaging in all of these types of dreams, it's telling your inner self that you're ready to listen. And often just the act of acknowledging the dream is enough to make it stop, because the message has finally been delivered and you're saying, thank you, I got it. I got the message. I got it. But there always are more messages. That's what the higher self does. It gives us that intuition. We just have pushed it down so many times in our lives because we were told it wasn't something good to have, that's woo-woo or whatever it is. So your recurring dreams aren't just random noise. They have been connected to your stresses and your conditions and your emotions. and they might help you to heal old wounds, karmic patterns, divine warnings. But they also show you you're never truly all alone on your journey, even if you live alone or have for many years. Even when you're asleep, you're being guided and you're also being taught. So the next time you wake up from that all too familiar reoccurring dream, don't just shake it off. Listen to it. The secret message is just for you. It's a conversation worth having. And whatever it is you discern is probably right. But we'd love to hear what you found out. Thank you so much, and tune in to Heart and Soul Connected on Tuesday nights for our dream show, if interested. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful day. Bye now.